This is Dave from Amplify, and I am talking to Auri, who consists of Joanna Kirkula. Am I right there?
Yeah, well done with the name.
Thomas Holopainen. Fantastic. And Troy Donockley. Sounds a lot more Western, that one.
That's it. Donockley. Yeah.
Good on you guys. Okay, so let's just race through with these questions and we'll get some answers so we get a nice succinct interview. How'd the band come together back in Finland back in 2017? Where did it all begin?
Well,
In 25 words or less. No, I'm only joking.
well, we met in 2009. That's when we all discovered each other, that we live on the same planet in the same time.
Yeah,
It was a revelation, really. We became fast friends, and soon enough the idea of Auri sparked, but it took us quite many years to actually record our first album, and now here we are later, three albums later indeed. And yeah, the band has evolved and our friendship has been exploring further and further into the world of Auri, into the world of music.
And we've had a brilliant time doing it.
Yeah.
It's been brilliant.
Good work. It sounds like it. This is the third album you've got coming out. We'll talk about that in a sec. But I read somewhere that you really haven't toured much. I presume you've played gigs around the place, but you haven't toured much, and you've just started doing that this year. You're going to Europe or whatever. Is that right, or have I read that wrong?
That is correct. We're going to do our first ever tour starting in about 6 weeks.
And can you believe it's going to be our first ever show? Also, we've never performed live ever anywhere, not one
once.
show.
No.
So it's going to be a momentous occasion.
I've interviewed a million artists, and obviously their stories are all a little different, but they're all the same insofar as they generally start with music and performance, and then through their performance they evolve, etc. Now it looks like you guys have evolved a little non-traditionally, a bit COVID-like, with just bringing out music and no performance. So can you just talk a little bit about that, because obviously that's a decision you've made, and it's pretty that information would be handy.
It's always been in the back of our minds to do live shows, but the time has never been right. We have basically been really busy with other stuff. We're solo career, the pair of us with Nightwish, and then the pandemic came after we released our second album. So because of all these things, we haven't been able to do any shows.
So there wasn't a reticence. There was just it just wasn't timely.
Yeah, so much other things going on.
Okay, how would you describe your sound?
Utopian metal.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one to describe, because it's full of, there's a myriad of emotions and physical instrumentation as well. There's all kinds of stuff going on in there.
I listened to the album and I thought it was great, but it was different. It was different.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Usually, most fans find artists physically and then, keep up to date sort of digitally and then go back and get some more physical. Why do you think fans have resonated with your music particularly? Because obviously you've got a bit of a following. Why do you think that's happened?
Well, actually, we were just talking about reaching more Australians. We'd love to come out to Australia.
Right.
We reckon that Australia might be a really perceptive audience for this kind of music.
Yeah, well, we get a lot of people out through Nuclear Blast, through Johnny, but yeah, we are. I think we're seen as a pretty decent crowd of people that love their music. So yeah, I think you'll find that when you finally come out, you've been out with Nightwish, though, I presume, yeah.
Yeah.
3 times, yeah.
So you've seen, what the Australian audience is like, but I think you'll find that they would enjoy it. So come out here pretty soon.
I hope so.
Who's the inspiration for your style of music? Obviously, you've got inspirations for Nightwish and the other connections you've got. What was the inspiring? Who do you look at that's sort of similar, mimic? Not that you mimic. Who do you think are the inspirations for Auri?
Well, they run deep in us, gone back to our childhood, really. It's everything that we've been overtly and introvertly influenced by that we carry with us. Everyone does. So it's bound to seep out our childhood influences. Modern influences, not so much, really.
Okay, yeah.
But we can't. I don't think we could actually pinpoint one that would sum up the sound of Auri.
And is it sort of a mixed drive, or is there a principle in this threesome that sort of, is the driving force?
I think there's truth, but no logic in Auri. We don't really think about what we're doing. We just go and do it.
So it's
So
very
there's,
conscious.
yeah, very organic and yeah, intuitive.
Okay, that's great. Okay, your new album, Candles and Beginnings, the third album after the first one in 2018, the second in 2021. It's coming out in August. What's it all about? The fans are waiting for you to tell them.
That's great. What's it all about? Cool. That's a difficult one to answer. Well, what's it all about? Well, it's just got to be experienced, People have to experience it themselves. The wonderful thing about our music is it's very ambiguous as to we have lyrics that can be read in lots of different ways. The music itself can be listened to in lots of different ways. So I think that more than anything, which makes it a prime extension of the other two albums.
Yeah.
So it's we're still traveling along that road that we decided we would travel along forever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we want to entertain each other really
Yeah.
with our music.
That's how
I
it all
thought-
starts.
Go on, sorry.
Sorry, yeah, that's the idea where it all starts. I mean, we love to make music that we feel that is still missing from this world, and like you said, entertain ourselves first, and hopefully through that, more people as
Yeah,
well.
I thought it was interesting. I thought it was different because there isn't a predominant, Freddie sort of voice that, powers through or even a particular screamo sort of, it's sort of each track has something a little bit different about it. It's sort of you can get the theme, but it's sort of different. And the difference is sort of interesting because you sort of anyhow, I found it interesting. I think fans will find it interesting. What are the signature tracks on the album? Do you have any signature tracks, favorites that you like? Ones that you can help us pick?
We love them all. We love them all.
Love them all. They're all kids. You love all.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other tracks would be really sad if we just picked 3 or 4.
And intensely jealous.
That's fair enough. I don't want to abuse those other tracks. So, okay, touring. So you play events, I presume, or this is going to be your first show. You're going to continue on and play more events and tour more, or is this just like when you can fit it in? So it might be a while before you do it again.
We're doing 6 weeks now this fall, and then a few festivals possibly next summer in 2026. And after that, the world is open. We haven't any plans.
Okay, how do you think it'll differ from your traditional tours with your other acts?
It'll be a bit,
action and the enjoyment.
it'll be a bit quieter.
I know Nightwish. Yeah, it might be a bit quieter. I'd say it probably will be.
But hopefully, we were just talking about it would be a bit of a dream to come over and do some Australian festivals, like Byron Bay or Port Fairy. Or
Absolutely. Well, you should have some pull now. Should know a few people. Get them to bring you out. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, what are your long-term aspirations? Be it that you're all in your 20s. What are your long-term aspirations with the
Well, really, to survival. That's how
the typical music aspiration. If only I can pay for the next rent. Yeah, that's fair enough. All right. What about
Yeah, survival.
Make lots more music.
Yeah, to be able to continue marveling life and interpreting that feeling into music. That all.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna end on some because I think I've only got about 5 or so minutes left. I'm going to end on some of those normal trashy questions that interviews love and artists hate. So, but there's three of you, so that's going to be good. What now? A lot of people don't answer this question, and fair enough. I say, what's the craziest thing you've ever done? But knowing some of those Nightwish tours, maybe we might not get an answer to these questions. Not that you might not be able to get into the country if you answer them. What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
That's what the craziest thing.
I think the craziest thing I've ever done is being born. I think that
That's
was
pretty crazy.
That's
Insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. It doesn't much get more crazier than that.
Doesn't get
No.
much more crazy than that. I'm going to do a podcast, a conscious podcast at some stage. I should have you back for an in-depth because it sounds like you've got a bit of metaphysical stuff going on there. Okay. Well, I think that that's what happens. You know, we're all doing stuff, but we're beings, and you know, especially as we move through and we've experienced a whole heap of whatever that might be, money, success, whatever. You sort of detach from that whole thing because you see that it really can't feed you the way you want to get fed, and so you get into this different place. So even these interviews can be like, why are we doing them? And 20 minutes and all this sort of stuff. And so I'd rather do different interviews, but basically we've got to get the music out and we've got to basically cover the music. So I can't.
It's splendid talking to you. And this is
Absolutely.
our third ever Australian interview. We've
Ah,
never done
well,
an interview.
I feel proud. What's the one topic you can talk? What's the one topic you can talk about for hours?
For hours or Indian food,
Really?
movies, and
Yeah.
movies, food, and books,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
and the magic of reality.
And the
Yeah.
magic of reality. Absolutely.
That's what we're doing here now. This is
Yeah.
feeding our souls, this
Yeah.
sort of interaction.
I'll tell you, I've got a whole, anyhow, we'll talk about it. You can have a look at it later because I really do get into the moment and just the fact that there's only the moment and your collaboration with it and everything else is basically a thought. And so the world is available to everyone. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to work it out. You don't have to do anything apart from just get to the next moment and collaborate with it. If you're Mandela, it's in prison. If you're the king, it's in a palace. And it doesn't really matter. You both have the same life potential to collaborate with whatever's taking place. So from that perspective, we're all quantumly connected.
Yes.
We certainly are.
Well, this is an interview with you. I don't know why I'm talking. What's the thing? What's the thing you like most about yourself?
Well, obviously, I'm just brilliant.
I thought that. I thought that. But I didn't want to say anything. Just like with those music tracks.
I could tell with your
If I
keen and
say-
perceptive eye.
If I say
you-
you're brilliant, what do the other two feel? They feel like they're not brilliant. So I can't say anything. Can I?
What can you say after that?
What can you say?
Just
Oh.
being alive, I think, is the most amazing thing. I mean, the gift of life and to be
What do
able
you
to
like
make
most about yourself, though?
my life.
So your approach to your life, I agree. That's good. This has gone off the rails, obviously, hasn't it? You people, I actually spent some time over there in the mid-80s up in Heimela. You know Heimela?
Heinola, yeah.
Heinola,
Wow,
yeah.
amazing. Did you
And-
like it?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. But I stranded some American girls there in the mid-80s that I was supposed to travel with, so I just left them there. So they could still be there. Maybe they're stuck trying to find their way back.
You found
I was different. I was in my 20s then. I was in my 20s. I was more a Nightwish sort of guy in those days. So
About 5 years ago then. Right?
that's it. All right, we're going to finish with some quick questions. Now, these are serious questions, difficult questions that are going to scour the insides completely. Favorite album? Yeah,
well, that would be
exactly.
favorite album at this moment, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because
Well, it can
there's
be
so-
whatever. It's your
Yeah.
question directed at you. So it can be now or it can be forever.
1492 by Vangelis.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Oh, wow. That's a fantastic choice. That's like 30, 40 years old.
Of course.
Yes,
Fantastic.
92, I think.
Fantastic
Yeah.
choice. You're under pressure. You other two are under pressure now to not name
No.
as good an album.
Well, mine would be, it's a bit obscure, but it's wonderful. And if you haven't heard it, you should hear it. It's Alan Stivell. Alan Stivell's Tea and a Nog, it's called. And it's unbelievable. And
Is
that's
that,
from 1981.
is that a Finnish record?
No, he's a legendary Breton composer.
I'm going to check it out.
He had a massive band.
I'm going to check
And,
it out.
Yeah, it's called Tea and a Nog.
I'm going to check it out. And Joanna?
I would love to say Candles and Beginnings by Auri. But if I can't say that, I'm going to say another album that's really dear to me, Legends of Light by I.F. Million. Yeah.
Ah, that's a great album. Now, I'm not sure that metaphysical people self-promote, but that's all right. We can accept that. We can accept that.
Well, we're not in it, you know, it's just music. Yeah.
But a bit of ego in there, I think. Favorite artist?
Terrible, it's murder working with that.
Murder.
Yeah.
I can see it. I can see it.
Me all the
I
bloody
can
time.
see it. I can see it. I didn't want to say anything, but I can see it. Favorite artist. It's written all over her face. Favorite artist.
Favorite artist?
Artist.
Probably Turner, J.W. Turner.
Not
Yeah.
Tina Turner.
Wow.
Not Tina
Yeah. His sister. His sister. His sister. His sister. It's pretty good. That's a great answer.
He's still recovering.
Oh God!
The Turner twins.
Oh, that's fantastic. Artist.
Oh my goodness.
Artist.
Yeah.
Mine's Turner.
Okay.
Turner.
This is going to be really hard to.
Again, how do you follow that?
I'm sorry.
This is going to be hard to transcribe. You realise that, don't you?
It's all your fault. You
I
did
know
it,
it is. I know it is. Everything's my fault.
Oh,
No more. Move on.
yeah.
Yeah,
well,
let's
I'll stick
move
to
on,
Tina
yeah.
Turner.
Favorite movie. We've only got a few more. Favorite movie.
Stick with the
Favourite-
best.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Favorite movie.
Favorite movie? Oh, it's Jaws.
That's a great movie. Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
Jaws.
The Village. I mean,
All of these are great. I want to say Little Mermaid and Dead Poet Society.
Oh, well, they're both. I don't know about Little Mermaid, but Dead Poets Society is a great movie. Favorite place to visit.
Little Mermaid, I mean the very old Disney version from the 19s, the original.
Not the
Ah.
recent.
Makes a difference. Makes a difference.
1989 was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Favorite place to visit.
Favorite place to visit.
Oh, you're not going to believe this, but it's probably Australia.
I was going to say that because it's on my bucket list. I've never been, but I'd love to go and
You've got to
because I love
come.
Holland.
You've
They're my
got to
favorite.
come.
I would say Australia and Japan. It's
Yeah,
a tie
both.
between those two.
Japan's different. Japan's great. It's very clean.
Yeah.
Favorite venue to play.
I don't think I've been on it yet, so I'm
favorite
waiting.
venue.
Oh, of course, you haven't been performing. Sorry, you guys are going to say, let's forget about that. Favorite food.
Favorite food, Indian.
At the moment, it's Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of Indian food in Finland?
Yeah.
Quite a bit, yeah.
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 Fair enough.
You?
Maybe Japanese or Italian.
Good
Very
choice.
good. Favorite drink.
The other brilliant thing about Australia for me is that you have crumpets.
Crumpets. Yeah, we've got
Yeah.
crumpets. I'll send some over. They might not be good by the time they get there, but I'll butter them and I'll put them in a bag and I'll send them over.
Vegemite on crumpets.
Favorite drink.
Oh,
Coffee for me.
Water.
real ale for me.
Okay, so water goes in coffee. I'm not sure if you put ale in it. Doesn't taste any good. Favorite person in history apart from me. Favorite person in history. I know it would have been a no-brainer.
Oh, that's a Walt Disney for me.
What's that? Walt Disney.
Walt Disney. Yeah.
These two sitting here on the step.
Oh,
Oh, that's just fantastic, eh? That's sensational. She says all the right things, you know. I can see.
Yeah.
I can
she's trying to
see.
redeem herself.
I can see who does the selling in the group of you. That's for sure. And yours?
well, obviously after Johanna and Thomas, it would be Carl Sagan.
Ah, now there's a
Yeah.
legend. He is a legend. All right, the last one. Last one's a pretty straightforward one for band people, but it doesn't look like there's too much going on there. Favorite tattoo?
We don't
Not a
have
single
any.
one.
Sorry, but
None.
I love tattoos on other people. I just
None.
never got around to getting.
Yeah.
So if you'd have performed, or no, I can't say that because you guys have performed a lot. But I was going to
Actually, I do have a favourite tattoo. There's a bloke in York, in the city, near a city to me, and he's a bit of a park bench mutation, but he's really interesting. And he's got a volcano tattooed on his head. That's erupted.
sensational. Bloody York's got that pimple in the middle of the town, hasn't it?
Yeah,
That big grass bloody
tower. Yeah, I think it's
pimple
tower.
that sits in the middle of the town. I remember that too. That was
Volcano head lives in that.
okay.
Okay.
We're done because we said we had 20 minutes. So we're done here. I am going to do this conscious thing. I'll contact you again because we can have an in-depth and I can find out more about you.
Love to talk.
We're only
Yeah.
we're a humble, we've been around for a long time, but we're a humble media process here. But anytime you need anything as you're moving down your path, just yell out, inside or outside from your publicist or personally, and we'd be only too happy to help because, of course, we're all connected.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Yes.
that.
So
Thank you
now,
so much.
do I send any links through to who? Through to your publicist?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
And
Yeah.
she'll contact me or give me something to connect up with. Thank you,
That was
guys.
It's been splendid talking to you.
Oh, it's
Really
been a
good.
pleasure. Been a pleasure. Do well, enjoy
You
the
too.
tour, and keep discovering. Because
Oh,
basically, we're all leading someone and serving someone, and your music is going to do that. Because I think that it's pretty metaphysical. It's not. It's not. I'm not going to say it's not commercial because you can sell it, but it doesn't seem like it's trying to do something particularly with the pursuit. It just felt
Nice.
like it was something that you could listen to and it wasn't sort of hurtling at you from a perspective. That's what I felt anyway. So I thought it was.
You are in the core of things.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are.
Well
You are.
said.
You
Good to
nailed
hear.
it.
Thank
Till
you.
next
Thanks,
time.
guys. All the best. All the best. Bye bye.
Bye. See ya.
Bye. All the best.